Hello, good morning. Today I will discuss with you the second part of COVID-19. Friends, innovative lectures will be given from this channel. If you like it, subscribe to the channel. Ever since COVID-19 invaded this globe, people across the world are in fear. This global health pandemic has touched every human person's life in the same way or the other, facing isolation, uncertainty, anger, and hopeless. And this, coupled with the economic meltdown, is causing huge psychological distress. The COVID-19 pandemic is a threat to human society both for risking human life, ensuring economic distress, and for its invisible emotional stress. United Nations warns saying coronavirus pandemic has the seeds of a major mental health crisis and called for substantial investment in support service. According to a United Nations, depressions affect 2,064 million people around the world. It is a dark day when COVID-19 pandemic is embracing. The whole world gives a ray of hope to all on 22nd March. Honorable PM Narendra Modi called for 40 hours voluntary public curfew, Janta curfew. After today, on 24 March, a 21-day lockdown was announced when confirmed cause of coronavirus infected individual reached approximately 550 in the country. This decision brought country to stand still on one plan for this. In one stroke, large segment of society became dependent on those in vulnerable state, including daily wage laborers, migrants, maid servants, and individuals working in operational department of any company became vulnerable. COVID-19 pandemic brought whole world an uncertain but equal state. The living condition of all became similar in some sense, including living with minimal resources, traveling less, more time at home with family, keeping distance with neighbors, etc., made most of a society equal. It is expected that in short term, this all will hold similar impact on many, but sustains many changes to large extent with each passing day. In long term, as economic cannot stand not allowed, run imagine a simulation when farmers are not able to harvest the crops in April. Fever, cough, shortness breath, positive result, negative result, and inconclusive result. COVID-19 pandemic in India and remedial state. Government response. The government of India was quick to recognize the threat of COVID-19 and introduce a series of steps explicitly to contain the transmission, which has received widespread attention. Perspective measurement, a thermal screening, travel history, securing symptoms of the disease, and airport screening began at the end of March 2020. The government also started dedicated and aggressive public awareness campaign through multiple media channels. COVID-19 pandemic in India and remedial steps, restrictions in place with PM Modi sir announcing a nationwide complete lockdown for 21 days to stop the Spread of the COVID-19 pandemic, Part 2 of CIO, India's survey on business country-wise aimed coronavirus, conducted 23-25 March shows that 96% of organizations have rolled out working from home, a significant rise from 90% just 2 weeks before. COVID-19 modes of transmission. Sneezing, cough by infected person, infected droplets. Infected droplets get on your hand, and when to touch any surface of person, virus transfers. Sneezing, cough by infecting person, infected couples. Infected couples get on your hand, virus transfer. The innovative message and mode of communication. Directive including country-wise lockdown, which began on 24th March 2020. This unprecedented response to these sudden measures was accepted and well coordinated by implementing disease mitigation effort by the state government. Preventive message and mode of communications. First, lockdown. Physical distancing, personal hygiene, and use of face mask were emphasized and are widely practiced. After the completion of 3 weeks of the first lockdown, it was further extended by an additional 5 weeks. Second lockdown. No country has witnessed such a widespread yet prolonged lockdown. The government has introduced and implemented a series of innovations, including a novel smartphone application called Arogya Setu for camera training and editing in quarantine and related containment measures. 5 April 9 Diya Chalao. COVID-19 testing. Initially, the testing for coronavirus was limited to this high-risk patient characterized by a variable combination of symptoms, close contact, and travel history. The testing has been further expanded to several categories in consultations with the state government. As of 10 March, 1.6 million tests have been conducted with 6,405,058 positive individuals, with 4.1 positive in the country. The debate country-wise continues on whether to expand the testing. Community transmission. With the progression of the outbreak in India, a major controversy concerns community transmission. The Ministry of Health has reiterated that India has not entered stage 3 and the World Health Organization has supported the hesitation. Several other experts in the country argue that there is widespread community transmission. The discussions may be due to lack of a clear definition of what constitutes community transmission for countries such as India, while the hesitation, absence of evidence is not evidence of absence, hold good here too. Community transmission. Here has also been no evidence such in manifest cases, overwhelming the health system, warranting any such suspension. The testing strategy has been revised many times and tests have increased many-fold with indigenous enzyme like linkage. Immunosynthetase assay, ELISA, tested added as of the May. The government is on the path towards defining what proportion of positive for COVID-19 in our community. Acquired respiratory infection, SARS, will constitute stage 3 transmissions. Risk factors. It is well known that India have a high prosperity for cardiovascular disease, COV, and diabetic. There are currently 79 million individuals with diabetic hypertension. Anecdotal evidence suggested there has been a substantial reduction in patients with acute coronary syndrome attending emergency department. Whether this is real or artificial is unknown at the moment from previous register. We what we know that patients largely use public-private transport to reach hospital. When they develop syndromes of ACS, given the lack of public transportations and some restriction of vehicle on the road, it may be particularly difficult to reach hospital from rural and far-flung areas. Taking an taking a cross section of coronologists, we have the impression that most CVD cases reach the hospital in the end stages. Women and elderly traditionally avoid hospital and any empirical education is needed. It assesses the impact of needed to cases the impact of COVID-19, COVID and CBD in this population. Given the economic difficulties as well as the additional effort in everything drug, speculous poor compliance with anti-diabetic hypertension and lipid lowering. Opportunities for India in 2020 and beyond. Vaccine development, the world is witnessing a race of start in finding a vaccine for COVID-19. Given its experience in productivity, several vaccines on a large scale. India has a head start in terms of vaccine development. The government arrives to development a vaccine through a public-private partnership. The National Institute of Coronary (NIV). This joint initiative will set test to look threat appropriate expedite vaccine the development, subsequent animal studies and clinical evaluation of the candidate vaccine. The Translations Health Service plus Technology Institute an autonomous institute of the Government of India has announced that 6 companies are working forward towards development of vaccine. 4 stages of a pandemic. Number 1 stage, case mostly imported from affected countries. Stage 1. Stage 2, local transmission for positive cases. Stage 3, disease spreads in community, large areas gets affected. Stage 4, disease takes shapes of an epidemic with no clear endpoint. Italy and China are already there. How we can keep it in stage 2 and 3? Quarantine. Anyone coming from 4 countries affected by COVID-19 outbreak is being quarantined for 40 days regarding of symptoms. Contact tracing. If a person has been found positive, everyone, he or she, may have came in contact with us put under surveillance. If they show any symptoms, they are tested and quarantined too. Stop mass gathering. Must steps have closed schools, cinema halls, or aren't organized public events. Awareness. Public is being made awareness of rain, hygiene and reciprocity equitable. Preparation, scanning and infrastructure testing facility, isolation beds, and about management of positive cases taking place stimulation. Pandemic preparedness. The measure that India has taken now have leveraged the capability of India to fight future pandemic. The pandemic brought that way for an evaluation of the health system in the help understand the strength and weakness of the system. A large number of funding agencies have come forward to support the COVID-19 response to India. More than ever before, greater emphasis on strengthening the public health system. India has proved its capacity in terms in helping other countries in managing a COVID-19 response. However, the greatest emphasis now is gearing up the survival system in India to present address and mitigate the effort related to any pandemic has witnessed. The gap between the rich and poor in India, health inequities can worsen in the immediate term and can have long-term consequences. Strategy. All activities prohibited earlier will be opened in areas outside containment zones in a phases minus the government has paid. Phase 1. Releasing places, hostels, hotels, restaurants and shopping malls to open from June 18. Health Ministry to issue guidelines for resumption of the activities. Phase 2. Educational institute including schools and colleges will open after consultants with the state who can discuss the matter with parent and other stakeholder. A decision will be taken in July. Phase 2. Phase 3. Implementations and travels, metro train service, cinema halls, gyms, entertainment parks are still banned across the country. Large Large associations including social, political, religious and sporting events too are prohibited. Night curfew 9 to 5 a.m. Night curfew from non-essential activities will now shorten duration of 8 hours. State may prohibit certain activities outside containment zone based on their assessment, but they are not allowed to dilute the central guidelines. Current situation. India is also currently evaluating several pharmaceuticals, biotechnology and immunology technology to force COVID-19 challenges. The real impact of the pandemic in India on all segments of the society will only be known when the lockdown is lifted and a new normal is established. Thank you very much.